weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry. Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Hi, I am Kendi Pang at
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Datagwan pa Watagwan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget opening presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honourable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Hi, I am Kendi Pang at
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Datagwan pa Watagwan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget opening presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honourable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
On the floor anyway.
on the floor, anyway, on the floor, anyway, on the. I gotta tell ya, who run the world? Sunrise. Who run the world? Sunrise. Who run the world? Sunrise. Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Sunrise. Who run the world? Girls. I gotta tell you, Sunrise girls. Good morning to you.
Morning.
One of the baddest rhythms of all time. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce them time they should have party.
Yeah. But it was a Jamaican rhythm. It was
she nearly made me crit my neck do that.
Yeah, I remember you.
I did my dance routine.
I remember.
Yeah.
What was that for again?
It was for YVAs.
Yes.
Youth View Awards.
I was like,
that year when I hosted it and I won it.
Yeah.
Because I just could, you know me, Dennis. I've never been. I'm not just a host, right?
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer, and I believe that when you go on stage as the MC, as the master of ceremonies, you set the tone, right? And so I wasn't just gonna walk out. And a young lady by the name of Chris Corio and a Dr. Michael. His last name eludes me right now. He just recently defended Holgate, right? Very well. Coordinated my dance routine, and and it was.
I took big choreographer that you know.
I gotta tell you, a long time we set the track. We set the track so what them are all about. Yes, sir. Hey, yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Big up Beanie Man. Do it already and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
All day, every day. You know, sometimes
that ain't bad though.
You look back at yourself and the work that you've done and what you have contributed to the arts, to entertainment, to nation building. And sometimes you have to really stop, and pat your little self on the shoulder and say, you know what, I did that.
But also it's functional because you have to, and in other spheres of life we say the same thing. So you have to remind yourself of what you've been through.
Yes.
You know, if it was church, they'd say you would have to remind yourself of your testimony, or you would remind yourself of the last trial that you overcame. Because sometimes you forget.
Absolutely. Because
you forget that you can do it.
Yeah, and because you do the work, you get lost in the doing and not get lost in the congratulating. It's just on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And sometimes you're achieving so much, and especially as a high achiever, like yourself, you forget that, you're like a SSP, like Dennis. Dennis from Spanish, Marlon from Spanish Town, from St. Catherine High School. I remember, Dennis, what I especially love about our success is the fact that we don't get no favors. We don't have none of the name them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were in obscurity, and because of our work, ambition, and drive, we have brought our families to the forefront. We have worked by the sweat of our brow. We have reached here, and on a name get to here, and on a godmother and a godfather, work and reach here.
Work. And the thing is that real work, put in the work. Absolutely. Some work that you're willing to do.
Absolutely.
Some hours that you're willing to put in, other people not willing
doing
to do
it at all. And so they will oftentimes hate you for your reward and think you're not deserving of your accolades. But the work, the blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice that you put in to achieve it, they would not have done it. The late nights, the weekends, the working on birthdays, the working on holidays, going overtime, extra time. Sometimes I'll now get paid. Hello, somebody. Can I get a testimony? Robobo Shatarabai.
And people.
And you still show up.
And you show up.
And our job is a job, and like many persons, like, nurses and doctors and persons who work, in the public sphere or the public eye, and also depending on the level of your job, you don't have an opportunity to come to work and frown and pout. Whatever problems or issues that you may be going through, you have to leave it at the door. And when you come, you have to come with your professional face. You have to come, you have to engage, you have to entertain, you have to indulge in that level of communication. It's not like you're working with inanimate objects, run a back, run a one place, run a one part.
It's not like you're dealing with books and paper. A people we deal with. We work in a people industry, and you have to learn how to people.
And who else works with people? Judges. Right, the judges, right? Ladies, good morning to all our judges here in Jamaica this morning. And incidentally, today is the International Day of Women Judges. And as we continue to observe Women's Month, we also want to recognize our female judges here in Jamaica, all the parish judges, those in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal. We say good morning to you. And of course, at the CCJ
I get the impression in Jamaica there are probably more female judges on the bench than men.
I would think so. It looks that way to me as well because you're going before a ladyship more often than not. Yes, I had the pleasure of meeting the president, the head of the CCJ just recently in Trinidad, and her name eludes me right now, but I'm going to get it, right? I can hear my husband just saying her name right now through the TV.
When you get to,
yes,
after
good morning,
the break,
my
it's
love.
going to be in your phone.
Yes, it is going to be, right? But even when I saw that young, and she's young, you know what I mean? As a woman, as a female judge, right? Head of the CCJ.
Right.
And when I saw her, it was just so, for me, enlightening and encouraging that a young lady from Jamaica is the head and she's doing well. And it says to me, again, representation, just like we're talking about Ambassador Marjorie Grant Fuller.
Yeah.
Little girls can know that it is possible. So it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. And so this morning, I want to encourage somebody who's been working tirelessly, who has been, you know, working through their integrity, your honest bread, and just making a lot of sacrifices. Pat yourself on the shoulder.
That's right.
Because as Uncle Dennis said, sometimes you're going through it and you forget to thank yourself. I remember when Snoop Dogg got his star on the Walk of Fame.
First
and he
of all,
said, I'd like to thank me. And sometimes people, you know, Dennis, will hear you congratulate yourself and think you're haughty and think that you're hype and think that, oh, you're going to say. But when you go through your valley of the shadow of death and you and God alone go through that and you know where you go through for reach here, so no guy no give you no favor, no girl no do you no favor for you. You're not stepping on nobody's neck to get here. Are you and God a trod? Are you and God a trod? I remember I met a security guard once. I went to a place and he said to me, Miss Kitty, you don't remember me? And I said, Lord Jesus.
The Bible way if you say that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. And you know what? I'm not telling a lie. I'm like, sir, you know what? I honestly don't. Because I meet a lot of people so pleased with me. And him say, yeah, man, remember your man. He said, Miss Kitty, I'm rate you know. People don't feel grudgy, nobody feel grudgy for not the way I've cut. I wonder where am I go with this? Him say, I want the security them used to escort you home, you know. When I come from law school up at UWI, you know, up at the library, you know. I would meet at the location and him said the location. He said, if I said the location, then it's, I swear, like the tears just started to run. Because once he said that, I know for real. He said, yeah, man, make sure you go in and you come out with the bag for the knapsack for your back and you go in. You know, the 3 o'clock in the morning, then it's them time there. And me, police, thief, and dog alone their road.
And the security.
And the security officers. Right. Good morning, King Alarm. How are you doing? But you do what you have to do because you have a greater dream, you have a legacy you want to create, and also you want to have your own autonomy. Then it's upon you. You're a producer, you're doing morning show, you do afternoon show. I remember, Dennis has a show called The A-Team, guys. Let me tell you, okay? The A-Team. You got it. If your child is taking any kind of exams, right, 60, The A-Team.
23 years.
23 years.
People hear it now.
Yeah.
But them don't know, say, from Radio Mona.
So long. Breakfast Club, right? Nationwide, right? From when, no, from your have ear. From before your ear lights up. Yeah, that. From before that is ear lights up, and it is.
From when it wasn't here.
It was here, right? So when people see you now in your SSP, you know what I'm saying, senior superintendent in your car key, and think, oh, he not deserve it. Well, you know, love Miss Jai, son. Leave Miss Jai, son, alone.
It's funny you say that.
Son.
It's funny you say these things.
Then it's with our work. Remember all when work done, we still at work. Remember when I stop work.
Well, remember when we come at work 4 o'clock. Every morning and leave 9:30.
Yes.
Every night.
And guess what? I don't complain.
We don't complain.
I would just love it.
I will love it, you know.
I love it.
You come and work 4 o'clock. Them time they have chicken or child.
So we're out there without fear.
4 o'clock religiously.
Yeah.
Me get up, reach our work by 5 o'clock, and we there until 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Somebody pat yourself on the shoulder. And if you too know someone who has worked assiduously over the years and they've reached a level of success, call them and big them up this morning. If that person is your husband, make sure you tell him this morning. If that person is your wife, tell her this morning. If that person is your child, tell them this morning.
Tell them.
Because oftentimes, if the person is your producer, like Shanna K from Verlisha Sweet Treats, tell them this morning. Because sometimes we get so burdened or we get so caught up with the work that we're putting in, we don't remember to congratulate ourselves. And I think that that is important because it reminds you that since you've achieved that, you can also achieve this.
More.
Yeah,
you can achieve more.
Because sometimes you don't tell yourself this. I say, Lord, I remember when I was coming on, you know, CVM and I say, Lord, morning TV, Lord Jesus, all this I go. And sometimes too, you have the naysayers who want to
I remember
belittle
the
your
first
effort.
week, Lord, they didn't like me.
Right?
They didn't like me.
Well, we don't care about
Yeah,
them. That's why some of them not a birth paper, but that's a whole nother. Don't get me started.
But,
you know, some of them have, for me, hello, but
we're still standing.
You know what I mean? and because you've gone through so much, you know that you're still standing and still you rise. So don't listen to the noise of the market. Just watch your profit. And once you're focused on your purpose and your impact, who forget it will get it. You're not going to be everybody cup of tea.
I make we run to a break. No, I'm not even a cup of tea.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like I
But
can't.
everybody's pocket of sunrise. Hey.
I have a cup of coffee.
Hey.
Let's run to the break. Come on, here, Joe.
Sure.
Say yes to living the life you love with your family with health and life insurance from Sagicor Life. The time by Sagicor Life is
6:15.
Rainforest, I go give you plenty healthy ways to switch up your meals. Fresh flavor that we need. More delicious moments every day of the week. And look how good me feel. Rainforest make it nice. Rainforest, I go make it nice.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
to the women who give to everyone else. This International Women's Day. Gain the future you deserve with Sagicor. Get protection with Sagicor Life's Total Woman Critical Illness Insurance. 10% off and a gift from Advantage General Ultimate Woman Auto Insurance. Special mortgage and auto loan rates, plus 7,500 credit card bonus points with Sagicor Bank. Lower trading fees with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to learn more. Conditions apply.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget Opening Presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honourable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Minutes after 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Jamaica. Yeah. Remember that?
I know, Francois Saint-Just.
Morning.
Of blessed memory.
Morning. Yes. You're right on time for your headlines with your girl Pony K. I mean, Tony K.
Pony it up.
Pony K talking.
Good morning. I like that color here.
Oh, thank you, darling.
It's a nice little
thank
vibes,
you.
You know.
Jane needs to tell me where's this from. I thank you. I love it too. It's different. It's a palazzo type of vibe. Yeah. And I really like it. You know how Jane Michelle does her thing, darling.
We know how she
thank
goes.
you.
We
You know, this
know
is how we roll. You know what it is. You know what it is. Yeah.
You know what it is now? Headline time.
I know.
Ready up? 2026-2027 budget debate opens in Parliament. Finance Minister Favour Williams is set to open the 2026-2027 budget debate in Parliament today as the government moves forward with a $1.4 trillion spending plan for the upcoming financial year beginning April 1. The presentation follows the completion of the Standing Finance Committee's review of the estimates of expenditure last week. The budget will be partially financed by a $29.5 billion tax package, including a new levy on sugary drinks, expected to generate just over $10 billion in revenue, marking the first time in a decade that the administration of Andrew Holness has introduced new taxes. The debate is expected to feature contributions from opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, who is scheduled to respond on March 12 and has already criticized the proposed tax measures. Mark Golding, leader of the opposition, will speak on March 17, while Prime Minister Holness will make his contribution on March 19. The finance minister will close the debate on March 24. Economists are also watching closely for updates on key national issues, including the work of the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, established to lead rebuilding efforts following Hurricane Melissa, as well as the impact of rising global oil prices on the country's fiscal projections.
Yep, this one. I'm looking forward to this year's.
You know what I don't miss, though?
Oh.
Having to read that big yellow book. As part of teams covering budget debates. You talk about things that we had to do, putting in the work back in the day. Back in the day, so you get the budget book and it's like this big, like literally it's the big book.
Yes.
And if it got through it, oh God.
Well, I used to like it because I get time off. Because when
that is true.
Yes.
From one has budget. That's true. For one has budget always mash up afternoon radio.
Yeah, because, well, not mash, but
you know. Well, throw off,
but I used to like it because my show is prime time afternoon radio. So they get where's that called? The Prime Minister is going to be speaking on my birthday this year,
yes.
March 19th. Remember, I told you it's going to be that. But I mean, I'm looking forward to the budget debate, and I hope Jamaicans, and what I would love for us to do here too as a broadcast house is to break it down in bite-sized pieces so persons can understand, because sometimes I get the feeling that people feel like, well, I don't mind business, I don't really care. It is actually our business. Because it will ultimately affect us, and we should let our voices be heard, and we should pay attention, especially in this time. You know, with the whole rebuilding after Melissa, the oil prices and everything. What the honorable ministers will be saying is of significant importance to us, for our children and our future.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. So
no matter what, it boring. See past the boring.
No, I used to always, growing up, I used to always watch budget debates.
Yeah, I watch it.
Always. I mean, other than the fact that no cartoon are up on TV. Then
Yes.
And, you know, you only could watch cartoons in the afternoon. So you come home from school and budget to go and you're like, might as well watch Michael Manley.
Yes. The fundamentally. I gotta tell you,
when my party was in power.
I get that. Dennis, your body no man.
Built by labor.
Dennis, you're the rest it up.
No, I'm telling you.
And them time when
Yeah. Michael used to put up his foot on the table. So when you go to school at a debate, see?
Yeah. I gotta tell you, gotta have it. Yes. Very interesting times.
Interesting times. So we look out for that. And I'm sure
you learn
CVM
words
will.
too. You learn. You know, the first time I heard the word cacophony.
Yes.
Cacophony.
The cacophony of it was in a budget debate.
Wow.
I always remember that word. I was like, what? The first time I heard the word quagmire. What?
Absolutely.
We run the encyclopedia.
No man, once you hear a word, and that's why I tell people there are no word not big, right? It's just words that you've never heard before.
Just unfamiliar.
And you familiarize yourself with it. So when I hear somebody use a word that I don't know, I run to my dictionary and you look it up, and then you use it in a sentence and you try
to use it during the course of the day. That's how I used to do.
So like in high school,
use it. And
in high
again,
school?
I was a debater, so I got try slip it in
no.
one debate
Well,
somehow.
I was a debater too. So you know, I forget that.
You have to slip it in one speech.
I used to wear glasses. I didn't need it that time, but you know, it's just for the optics. You had to, and you look over and you take it off for that dramatic
looks. Okay.
Dramatic pause. Yes.
Yeah,
So at school, in high school, we used to have our swords in hand. And then, and you open it and you find a word and then you use it in a sentence and you'd have to use that word for the day. And that's all, I don't give Louis
sword in hand.
Sword in hand. That is far where I come from. Jesus got we. Don't bad mind we. Father God will say you're lucky. Yeah. Swords in hand. Me to tell you. Love it. Right ever keep. You have to break my house because my mother, lie down.
Go read your book.
TK. But if they put on a roll and them, the only thing my mother had a little understanding with me was math, right? Because she just was my brain shake when we said no them Saturday. But otherwise, if it come in a top 10, top 5, valedictorian, you gotta be on honor roll. Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna say, you're not tired goat. You're not tired pig. You have to do good in school.
School is your job.
Yeah, it's your job.
That's what I used to hear at my house. School is your job. Just do your job.
Just do it. Yeah.
All right. So next up, Mackenzie rejects JTA's school shelter ultimatum. The local government minister, Desmond Mackenzie, says the Jamaica Teachers Association has no authority to issue an ultimatum to the government regarding the use of schools as shelters for people displaced by Hurricane Melissa. The minister was responding to comments by JTA President Mark Malavo, who gave the government 3 weeks to relocate the remaining shelterees from school compounds, promising to escalate its advocacy efforts on behalf of teachers and students if the deadline isn't met. Mackenzie says fewer than 200 displaced residents remain in schools and noted that authorities have received no reports of disruptions at institutions currently accommodating them. However, the JTA maintains that housing shelterees and students in the same spaces poses safety concerns and should be addressed urgently.
Well,
we discussed this.
We discussed it, and I expected a response. But have we heard any complaints from the actual schools? Is it? I'm trying to remember the JTA is a representative body.
Yes, the body. Mm-hmm.
You know, although they are not quote unquote creatures of instruction, they are creatures of representation. So the perspectives that they are expressing, that the president doesn't stand up and represent himself, represent
the voice of.
The voice of.
Mm-hmm. But the minister said that he has not received any complaints.
So if nobody not complaining,
what are you representing?
What are you representing? You know, I mean, I want to hear, look here, this is a serious concern put to me by the teachers that I represent, and so I am standing for them because that is our job as the association.
Our mandate,
That was
well, the minister said that he has not heard any complaints.
Well, the president should say, actually,
yes,
we have had scores of complaints.
Yes.
Scores of complaints.
Yes.
I'll be back at 7 a.m. with the news.
Very well, my dear. Thank you so very much. And that's Pony K, is it? Pony K Dawkins this morning for Sunrise Headlines. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back after these messages. Please do stay with us.
What's a guan? That's a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
And that's a guan, pa. What's a guan?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget opening presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody-Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
We are proud to supply all of Jamaica with the highest standard of gas products to keep you safe and well taken care of. Choose well. Choose IGL.
The time by IGL is
6:30.
Ready, tech, grow! Business is fast, easy, flexible, and costs less. Oh, entrepreneurs, let's go digital! The government of Jamaica and the European Union present Digital Jamaica Training Series. Learn how technology grows your business. Choose the right digital tools. Manage your staff, customers, and money digitally. Data security and privacy. Artificial intelligence. We'll be in every parish. Apply online. www.jbdc.net. Log on fast. Digital Jamaica. Powering connectivity for MSMEs.
Employers, once a month, you have the power to shape Jamaica's future. By paying your hard 3% contribution, you're not just contributing, you're investing in people, in skills, in our economy. Your hard contribution trains working-age Jamaicans, aligns programs with workforce needs, and secures our future. That's not just contribution, it's transformation. Contribute to heart and to your future.
To the women who give to everyone else, this International Women's Day, gain the future you deserve with Sagicor. Get protection with Sagicor Life's Total Woman Critical Illness Insurance. 10% off and a gift from Advantage General Ultimate Woman Auto Insurance. Special mortgage and auto loan rates, plus 7,500 credit card bonus points with Sagicor Bank. Lower trading fees with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to learn more. Conditions apply.
I'll be where I want to be, and I'm where I want to be right here on Sunrise with you. Big up to Nostradamus. I got to tell you, Nasir, Nas on that one. One of those songs that really, transcend time.
Because an anthem.
Because anthemic, always relevant as you are to us, as you are our viewers, and we absolutely appreciate your patronage. Right. Thank you so very much for choosing CVM and for choosing Sunrise. Now, choosing a university degree or program is one of the biggest decisions a student will make. Uncle Dennis can tell you because he has guided many students along this path. Yeah. But with so many local, regional, and online institutions offering programs today, how can students be sure that the degree they're investing their time and money in will actually be recognized and respected? Now, as Jamaica observes Quality Assurance in Higher Education Week, we're taking a closer look at the systems that help protect students and maintain strong academic standards across the country's tertiary institutions. To help us understand how accreditation works and why it matters before you enroll anywhere, okay? Now, we're joined this morning by Director of Public Relations and Communication at the University Council of Jamaica, Mr. Najee B. Murray. Hey, you know, they call it a bigger initial, you know. Yeah. You know your thing, third, you know. Then, come tell me something. Dennis M. Brooks. Kadeen N. Wilkinson. You have to have it. You understand?
That's right.
Najee, good morning, Mr. Najee B. Murray. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm being educated people. They do something. Let us be idea. Because you have, lest there is another Najee Murray. This is Najee B. Murray. Okay.
There actually is another Najee Murray that teaches accounts at UCC.
You see see that? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So the B makes a difference.
Yes,
Well,
right.
thank you for being here this morning, Najee. And I really like this topic because at this time, a lot of parents and students are looking to make their choices in terms of university.
But not just parents, it's just, I mean, even adults looking
True.
for a master's program,
True.
or you hear about a PhD program.
True.
Like, I'm experiencing it right now. Like, you're like, should I go there? But is their PhD
recognized? Yeah.
You know, after all of that work, will it be worth the paper that it's printed on?
True.
You know?
So Najee B, Murray, talk to us. Quality Assurance Week, why is this important? And many people didn't even know that this existed.
Oh, that is why we're here today, right? So Quality Assurance in Higher Education Week, we seek to form dialogue around these topical issues relating to higher education and relating to where students should go and seek a higher education for them to seek the best quality, right? Most of students that we know around the country, I myself would have taken myself and gone to the University of the West Indies, not knowing whether or not the university is of quality. But thankfully, I was able to fact check this with the University Council of Jamaica, right, to see whether or not the programs or the institution is accredited or recognized by the University Council, right? But not just that, there are also other issues that may arise in quality assurance. And with the advent of Hurricane Melissa, we thought it pertinent to speak on quality assurance in times of crisis.
Yeah.
So, for example, this year, the theme for QA Week is from shock to stability, sustaining higher education quality in times of crisis and beyond. And as such, you know, we're going to be speaking on how do institutions not just build or rebuild, but how do they build back stronger for better resilience. And because of that, we're having a person speaking from the University College London, who will be speaking towards our theme, that is Professor Tristan McCowan, and also we have two individuals from the University of Cambridge who will be speaking on what happens in the quality life cycle of a credential. So what happens when the systems are stressed or stretched, right? What happens to the value of that credential when that happens? What happens if the university is now flattened, right? How do we tackle those situations? And those are some of the things we'll be speaking about in this Quality Assurance in Higher Education Week.
It's very interesting because sometimes an institution is accredited, but they may have new programs, or their programs, as you say, might have, you know, gone through, may have been battered in some sort of a way. You know, I don't know what the state of affairs is. They might have a Western Jamaica campus that was battered by the hurricane. What quality assurance checks take place behind the scenes that the average person doesn't know, that tests, you know, does the stress testing to determine if a degree awarded in 2026 is of the same standard as a degree that was awarded in 2016?
Right, so there are international benchmarks that the University Council of Jamaica does measure these institutions against, and also the programs as well. So the quality checks that are there, what I should say rather, is that quality is a continuous process and it's very reflexive, right? So something may change in that process that may cause us to reflect, and once we reflect, we go and plan again. And it's really a cycle that goes on and on.
So it's ongoing.
Ongoing. So quality doesn't come and stop when when the UCJ comes and finishes that particular check on that institution. No, it is a maintenance that goes on, and even after the institution has received accreditation status, whether it be for the program or for the institution itself, we still do continuous maintenance with that institution.
Let me ask the question a different way. We're using the word checks, but for instance, we know that there are systems like ISO.
1000.
So to what extent is our institutions audited so that their performance standards and their commitments to delivering a particular service standard assessed?
Right. So, for example, the UCJ is ISO 9001 certified. And quality depends upon a greater system. So we ourselves are audited, or we ourselves are held to a standard, and we're also part of international organizations such as INCAHE, right? So we ourselves are assessed, and we use those systems to also check with institutions to see whether or not they're being held to particular standards. So one of the first things that we do is that we develop these standards. And after development of these standards, we then issue them to institutions and say these are the guidelines that you should follow, or best practices rather that you should follow in order for your institution or program to be considered accredited or recognized by the University Council. And that just doesn't make your program recognized in Jamaica, but also portable in different parts of the world.
I was about to ask that because now we live in an era where we're inextricably linked.
Yes.
You know, people are migrating to different areas, and I would want to know that my degree from a university here in Jamaica can be used in other parts of the world.
Yes.
And that also will determine whether or not I go to that university, because if I only Jamaica it's valid, me don't know about that. I don't must live here. So let me just ask this question. If there is a parent or student watching this morning who would like to do their checks to make sure quality assurance, make sure that the program itself is accredited, how do they get in contact with the University Council of Jamaica? Do you have a website to say, okay, because we also live in a time where people get set them up programs every day. You know, oh, you see this person offering a program, that person offering a program, but I don't know whether or not it is legitimate.
Yes.
How do we check as a parent, as a child, as a person who wants to go back to school to ensure that, yes, this program is accredited and yes, I'm getting quality for my money?
As a person myself who's always fond of going back to school, I for some reaon find myself with 3 degrees.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. I gotta tell you, that's saucy. Yeah, I got 2.
Professional student.
Yes.
What I would say is that one of the first things I did before taking myself to go study abroad is that I checked whether or not, I checked with the UCJ, right? So on the UCJ's website, this is www.ucj.org.jm. Once you can go there and check and look on our website for the different accredited institutions or programs. If you're going to study overseas, you can send us an email at info@ucj.org.jm and you will get a response as to whether or not the program or institution is recognized and whether or not the degree is of quality and will serve you in Jamaica, right?
Nice.
And just to mention again, as it relates to students, one of the things that we're doing for Quality Assurance Week is having a students forum.
Tell us
right?
about that. Yes.
Having the students leaders from across the country come and express to us what quality assurance and resilience in higher education looks like and feels like for them. How did they interact with institutions, or how institutions interacted with them during times of crisis, right? And even so, we have more institutions that are being operated in Jamaica. And on Friday, we're having a quality clinic offering these institutions the opportunity to come and speak to our accreditation officers about quality assurance and what does that look like working with the UCJ.
Where will these things be held and how can persons or viewers be a part of it?
So the online forum will be held online.
What date and time?
The date is actually today.
Oh, nice.
So we're starting at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And then on Thursday, we'll be having the Students Leaders Forum by the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. Yes, UCC.
Yes.
We're starting at 9:30, and again, student leaders will be able to participate. And then on Friday, it will be a virtual quality clinic giving institutions, the newer ones, the opportunity to come and speak with us regarding the quality of their institution.
I like that. I do like that, and I think that will also help to allay the fears of many parents who they don't know. Your pitney come to you and say, "I want to go to university, mommy, we about one program where they so really," and then you don't want to invest your money only to come to find out they're not accredited and they don't give quality education at all. So it will spare the parent and the child.
But just to make sure, I'm very clear that just because an institution is not recognized by the UCJ, that doesn't mean the program isn't of quality. What it means is that the program simply hasn't made its way to the UCJ, and as such, as stakeholders of these institutions, we must encourage them to go and seek quality assurance from the University Council to ensure that the programs and the institution is beneficial, not just to the students or to the community that they serve, but also for national development as well.
You need to pass the but of course test. But of course. You want to go to that school? But of course.
Yes.
They're accredited, but of course.
That's
UCJ said, but of course you're there. You know what I mean? I really like that, Najee, and I really hope that parents and students and Jamaicans will take advantage of this, especially too. I like the fact that, if persons want to go overseas and study, they can do a background check, so to speak, as to whether the program is accredited. Like that.
Indeed.
Watch Najee Barney say I have 3 degrees. Najee Barney yesterday, I have 3 degrees. I wouldn't sleep, Najee?
Me?
Yeah, when you sleep.
I'd love to tell you at night, but that's a lie.
Very even the midnight aisle.
The midnight aisle is made by
The J.B. Murray midnight oil. Love it.
Look here, our guest has been Najee B. Murray, not to be confused with the accounting lecturer. He's the Director of Public Relations and Communication at the University Council of Jamaica, the UCJ, encouraging you to make the checks before you select. After the break, we're going to turn our attention to health as we talk kidney care and the upcoming activities for World Kidney Day. Stay with us.
Watch the company you keep and the crowd you bring, cause they came to do drugs and you came to sing. So if you're gonna be the best, I'ma tell you how. Put your hand in the air and take the vow.
Next time, there are now 2 due dates for filing final income tax returns. All personal income tax returns, such as self-employed persons, individuals, partners, and partnerships, must file and pay their income tax returns by March 16. For corporate bodies, your income tax return is now due April 15. The due dates for all estimated tax returns filings and quarterly payments remain the same: March 15, June 15, September 15, and December 15. Visit jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
Power in great moments. If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Power in great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. Power in great moments. With relax, you got Chris and Charles. Oh, we have it all. When you think alone, think Chris and Charles.
Finding the perfect home doesn't have to be a dream. The key is finding one that's right for you. With an NHD home buyer loan, you can buy a house or land on the open market or within one of our developments. Whether you're applying alone or with a co-applicant, we offer easy financing and low interest rates. Our Parent Assist gives you an opportunity to buy a home on the open market or in an NHD scheme development. Don't just dream it, live it. Visit your nearest NHD branch today. NHD, the key to your home.
'The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Minutes heading up to 7 o'clock. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for making it sunrise. We're glad to have you with us as always. Our bodies do some pretty incredible work behind the scenes, things that we never even think about. Yeah. The kidneys are definitely among the hardest working organs that we have. And the challenge is that many people don't think about kidney health until theirs has already become a problem. With World Kidney Day coming up this Thursday, health teams across Jamaica are encouraging people to start paying attention earlier through screenings, education, and prevention. Joining us to talk about the importance of kidney health and the activities planned at the Kingston Public Hospital and Spanish Town Hospital, we have medical doctor at the Kingston Public Hospital and 2025 Cosmos Queen of Jamaica, Dr. Kimoni Young, no stranger around here, she's been here before, along with nurse manager at the Spanish Town Hospital, Candice Barrett. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to you. I gotta tell, well, I'm looking at nurse's uniform right now, and it's bringing me back to when I was a child and I would go to the University of the West Indies with mommy, or even KPH as well. And you know, the nurses would be in their uniform. You see that blue belt, that's your sister. And you see sister one ward,
Yeah.
and you have the hats, and listen, lily white.
Yeah.
I just love it. So I'm,
right.
you know what I mean? So I'm just paying my ode to all nurses. Good morning.
Morning.
To you, all nurses.
And doctors.
And doctors as well. So good morning to you. Then when you see doctor, you see the scrubs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Green scrub. Scrub it. Yes. You have to wash it. Wash it. And gloves up. And, you know what I mean? Have a stethoscope.
When they wash their hand
I
and comes
sit there.
out.
Yeah. You have to have your stethoscope, your laryngoscope. Are you ready to intubate? Yeah, son? Yeah, but I just read about those things.
In another life. In a parallel universe.
Yeah, parallel universe.
Yeah. But kidney health, so important. The work, you know, we have a phrase when we really love somebody, we say, I'd give you a kidney. But the truth is that some of the times we have to give somebody a kidney because their kidney is failing.
Yeah.
For those who don't understand, Doc, first of all, explain.
Why do kidneys matter?
Yeah, why do kidneys matter?
Kidneys are two small organs that are situated at the back. Retroperitoneal, that's what we call it. But because they're small, I believe it's designed in such a way to be able to carry so many functions. They filter toxins, they regulate our blood pressure, they help to keep our blood count going. They also help with acid base, so making sure that your body stays on a good hormonal level. Those are the functions of the kidneys. So they actually do a lot of the work. We call them endocrine organs sometimes. They're related to the heart as well. They're also related to the liver and they're related to the bladder. So yes, two small organs here, but they carry a massive load, ensuring that our body stays within regular homeostasis, and that is why kidney health is important, because they carry so much power to operate in the way that they do. Usually by the time something is wrong with them, it's way too advanced. So we prefer when we're able to catch them early, and because they're related to endocrine or metabolic things, it's related to non-communicable diseases, so your diabetes, your hypertension, and your obesity. So those three big things that are preventable is the reason why we want to get early screening done, to tackle it, because we can prevent getting to the part where the kidneys are not functioning well.
So when you say kidney screening, Doc, what does that look like? Oftentimes, you know, when you're going to do your checkups, we'll check our eyes or ears, you know, ENT stuff, or even your cardio stuff. But what does it look like to get your kidneys tested? And someone will say, but Doc, I feel good. All right. You know, how do I test and how often should I test? And what does the screening look like?
So most patients will say they feel all right, so we call them asymptomatic. The test that you need to do, it is on your executive profile for those who would know, but we call it the BUN and the creatinine. That's a blood test. So your BUN, your urea, and your creatinine. Those are the two figures that as nephrologists or kidney doctors, we look at those. Also, we check your urine. If there's a presence of protein in your urine, or for example, your urine looks frothy or foamy, then there is a high likely that you have protein in there, which is not supposed to be leaked out, and you may be at risk for kidney disease. How often do we suggest it? Every time someone who has diabetes, hypertension gets their screening, it should be like twice for the year. So we would suggest that that's what you need to do for the screening. So just a blood test, a urine test. But if you keep your pressure well, if you control your sugar well, chances are you are at less risk of developing kidney health.
Let's get our sister involved here, because sometimes, unfortunately, some Jamaicans will like to watch things like it's a TV. May I go and watch it, little man. It's not so bad.
Especially men.
Yeah, men who can, their pain threshold is high. And so they might go and watch it. Talk to me, nurse, about what does it look like when you don't do what doctor said. You didn't go and get your creatine checked. You don't get your blood test. You don't do those things. What is the end result of ignoring those checks?
So the end result of ignoring all of that is that these patients present to the hospital, most times in comas. They have elevated blood pressure that is uncontrolled. They have blood sugars which are uncontrolled off the rocks. So when we investigate, we realize that the kidneys have gone.
Yeah.
Because the thing with the kidneys, we can function on one.
Yes.
However, it gets to the point where it just stops. You keep pushing and pushing it until it stops and it gives way.
Is that when we need dialysis?
That is where dialysis comes in.
What is dialysis?
So dialysis is a form of renal replacement therapy, and that is where we cleanse the blood for you because your body is no longer able to do it. So your kidney is your natural filter, or what we Jamaicans love to call the strainer of our body. So it filters all the toxins from our body, not everything that is not good for us, it removes naturally. So we'd remove it in the urine. So that is what the kidney does. So when we put patients on dialysis, this is what the machine now does for that patient.
What does that cost?
Well, yeah.
Because no, then it's an ear dialysis all the time.
And you hear about people having to do it more than one time a month, and it sounds expensive.
It is poor. The recommended treatment is for 3 times weekly, 4 hours, at least 12 hours per week. And 3 times the cheapest you may find a dialysis treatment is $13,500. And that's 3 times weekly.
Per session.
Per session. And that does not include getting there, purchasing your medication, sticking to the diet that is recommended. So
and if you don't get a kidney replacement, you're going to have to do for the rest of your life.
Right, and if you don't get a transplant, which is what is recommended, you're on dialysis for the rest of your life.
Wow. About how many patients do you see on a weekly basis at Spanish Town Hospital?
So at Spanish Town, we have 72 patients on our regular rota.
Wow.
Plus approximately an average of 5 to 10 emergency patients weekly.
Wow. How do we... So, I mean, I understand not monitoring and not screening, but kidney failure is as a result of what's happening with the kidney when it is failing.
What's happening to the kidneys when it is failing is that the nephrons or the tubules that filter out those toxins go under pressure of inflammation and scarring and fibrosis. So they're not able to regulate the things that pass through the sieve because it's a filter. So there are things that the kidneys keep in the blood and there are things that the kidneys push out. With those scarring and that fibrosis, the kidneys are not able to do that anymore. But the kidneys are resilient, which is why you can live on one. So if we catch it early, we have some form of reversal agents that we can do, which is why we suggest in the acute situations, drink your water, because the water helps to allow that sieve with all the hormones that influence it, allows the sieve to get back to its normal procedure. But when you don't catch it early and get that reversal, you're going to have that long-term scarring, which now means the kidneys cannot function in the way that they're supposed to.
So for somebody, Doc, who may have kidney issues in their genetics, family, like how persons would say, if cancer runs in your family, you should take your screening earlier than the 40-year-old. Is that the same thing for persons who may have kidney disease in their family? If you know you're genetically predisposed, you may want to start testing from earlier. And what is earlier? At what age should they start?
Okay, so for genetically related diseases, the most common ones, and ultrasound is the best screening modality, those who may have polycystic kidney disease. So if you know your parents got polycystic kidney disease or was diagnosed at maybe about 30, you suggest that around 20 to 30 you start to screen yourself as well. Most of the kidney diseases though that we experience in Jamaica are not genetically linked, but if you do have a genetic predisposition, we suggest abdominal ultrasound so we can look at the structure of the kidneys to see what is happening, the position, the size, the site. And if you do have the genetics, then we'll suggest that you get a blood test done, depending on the type of genetically related kidney disease you have.
Nurse Barrett, before we go, if there's somebody watching this conversation and saying, I want to do some things differently, following on this conversation, what are some lifestyle changes? What are some things that they could do differently, like starting today?
Lifestyle changes, so increase your fruits and vegetables, your activity level. Jamaicans love salt. Everything must have like a salt and have no taste. So we encourage them to cut down on your salt intake. The recommended intake
we have to eat salt, mackerel, corn pork,
salt. Scarlet.
Right, and we soak it, right.
Yes,
and if
soak
you tip
it overnight.
And if you tip a little vinegar removes the salt. but the salt is still present.
Yes.
So, but the recommended intake is a teaspoon of salt for daily intake. That's the recommendation. So we have to get our activity levels up. We are in the era
We're
now
not eat for taste, we eat for long life, Dennis. We eat for long life.
But you know, Jamaican people stay. They've got a restaurant. This not eat good.
and that
this
is our
not eat
problem.
good.
That is
So
our
it's
problem.
readjusting our taste buds.
It's true.
Reorientating
the
our
thing about
taste
black
buds.
pepper is true. Like, you know, man, if you eat too much black pepper, can it clog up your kidney?
Anything clogs your kidney once you're not doing the right thing.
Oh.
So if you are not active, you're somebody that doesn't love drinking water. So you see that slang that said, drink
water boring.
Water
Like,
and have no taste.
We learned that in primary school, nurse. Water is odorless and tasteless. I'm like, did y'all miss that class?
Right.
And then you could drop a piece of cucumber in there, or you could drop a piece of apple and hype it up. I don't know. Maybe water
we need
boring.
to drink our water.
Yes.
And exercise.
Yes.
The sugary drinks.
Cut it down.
It is
I get taxed now.
the fast food that we so love because convenience. The home cooked meals that we are missing. So we need to increase our fresh fruits, vegetables.
So where can we come out to Spanish Town on Thursday? What's going on at KPH quickly?
On Thursday at Spanish Town Hospital, we'll be having an open day.
Okay.
So we'll have blood pressure checks, urine testing. We'll have persons there to educate you. We'll have flyers.
What time do you start?
We start at 10 a.m. on Thursday, and we'll have the dietitian there. We'll also have a recycle dress parade because the theme of World Kidney Day this year is kidney health for all, protecting our planet.
All right.
And for you, Doc, at KPH?
So for KPH, it is our 250th anniversary.
Oh, nice. Big up KPH. Whoa. Jubilee, whoa, all the doctors and nurses, whoa. Yes.
So because this is our 250th anniversary for World Kidney Day, we're having a lovely health fair and a blood drive.
Oh, nice.
So we have screening, blood pressure, GMR, your sugars. We're going to be checking your cholesterol. We're going to be checking your uric acid, which is also a part of kidney function.
Yes.
We're going to be having persons donate blood. So the National Public Health Lab is here with us for that. Nice. We're going to have exhibitions. We're going to show you what the hemodialysis machines look like.
Right.
We're going to show you the other modalities of dialysis, which is peritoneal. We're going to show you the fistulas that they have to get. So we're going to have information and educational booths as well for
What time does that start and where
9 a.m. to
KPH?
3. So it's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and at KPH it's at the Pharmacy Car Park. So that's little car park that joins Jubilee and KPH.
I like the I Park over there. See that? Hi Jubilee, Victoria Jubilee Hospital, Kingston Public Hospital. Big up every nurse, every ancillary staff, every porter, every patient care assistant. You know what I mean? Love you guys. We appreciate all that you do. And big up to the King Alarm Security Guards on KPH.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, KPH does the place. Yeah, remember I'm told they know trauma. They know how to jump into the thing. Go to KPH, I gotta tell you.
Right.
But thank you so much, Doc. We appreciate the information. And thank you, nurse, as well, for bringing these things to the fore. Because sometimes, you know, you treat your kidney now, but you don't really think about it, Dennis. Just kind of take it for granted, like, kidney. But then when we hear this kind of information, it causes us to pause and do some introspection and also come and get some education. So thank you both so much. And for all you do, you know, for giving to patients and helping to save lives. We sincerely appreciate your professionalism and your contribution to nation building.
That's right.
All right. We're going to take another break and we'll be right back. The news is right up after this. Well, no, she is TK Dawkins for this segment.
Dawkins.
That is right. Stay with us, please. You're watching CVM Sunrise. See it happen.
The perfect home doesn't have to be a dream. The key is finding one that's right for you. With an NHD home buyer loan, you can buy a house or land on the open market or within one of our developments. Whether you're applying alone or with a co-applicant, we offer easy financing and low interest rates. Our Parent Assist gives you an opportunity to buy a home on the open market or in an NHD scheme development. Don't just dream it, live it. Visit your nearest NHD branch today. NHD, the key to your home.
Rainforest, I go give you plenty healthy ways to switch up your meals. Fresh flavor that we need. More delicious moments every day of the week. And look how good me feel. Rainforest make it nice. Rainforest, I go make it nice.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
You could win a return on your taxes with your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card. Pay your taxes with your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card at Tax Administration Jamaica or online for your chance to be one of 2 lucky winners of $500,000 cashback. Earn an entry for every $100,000 spent on taxes between February 27 and April 15. Plus, enjoy a 1-month payment holiday up to 55 days interest-free and unlimited reward points. Visit Sagicor.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
New fast food always tastes to savor. Giving you the best, giving you the flavor. Nice enough the kitchens all across Jamaica. Happy smile when you see the price you pay for. Corned beef and the sausage. New pack. Ketchup and the pepper sauce. New pack. Beans and the baked beans. New pack. Rice. New pack. Oil. New pack. Yes. New fast foods always taste to savor. Giving you the best, giving you the flavor. Nice enough the kitchens all across Jamaica. Happy smile when you see the price you pay for. New pack. More than just value.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Bring back the fun of shopping. Discover the best finds in every aisle of amazing items. For your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, or any room, Azan Super Center has that perfect touch to elevate your space to the next level. Our team is ready to help you find what you are looking for you or someone else. So stop by our Crossroads store today and rediscover the fun of shopping.
Azan Super Center, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
The new Big Dipper from Wendy's. A juicy cheeseburger with smoky Cajun mayo, crunchy tortilla chips, and a creamy cheese sauce for dipping. Available for a limited time only at Wendy's.
Welcome to Morning News. I'm TK Dawkins. The government is moving to reassure Jamaicans about the stability of the country's health sector following the discontinuation of the Cuban medical program. In a media briefing Monday, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton provided an update on the status of the island's health system after the end of the over 50-year technical cooperation program between Jamaica and the Spanish-speaking island. The health minister says the government has made an offer to the Cuban medical professionals currently serving in Jamaica.
All of the Cubans who are here have been offered through the embassy, through the ambassador, the opportunity for those Cubans to remain here, but under different arrangement through direct contracting, and that offer remains in place. And so just want to conclude that we do not see the termination as a decision to discontinue the relationship. It's really around the format of the relationship, and that has been made very clear.
The minister also noted that, or announced that in the event that all Cubans withdraw their services, plans are being put in place to ensure that healthcare delivery across the island remains uninterrupted.
In the short term, the ministry will be working with the regional health authorities to activate what we call a contingency measure to maintain critical services. So that's our short-term surge plan, which includes revision of duty rosters, increased use of overtime and extended work hours. The other short-term measure that is being discussed for implementation is the engagement of some outsourcing of some services through the private sector, and Cabinet has given its go-ahead for that. So I want to mention in particular radiotherapy services and cataract or surgeries, specifically linked to the Cuba eye care program at St. Joseph's.
In the meantime, the health minister further notes that eye care operations will continue at the St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center. He says patients who previously received surgery are encouraged to attend their scheduled follow-ups to ensure proper recovery and continued care.
The Jamaica-Cuba eye care program will continue. That's the intention. Its operations will continue by the Cuban team up to the 20th of March. There's an agreement on that. And for the remainder of the program's operations, services will be limited to surgery and post-operative care What this means is that for surgical procedures for patients who are already scheduled and follow-up care for patients who have already undergone eye surgery and retina-related post-operative treatment and monitoring. So those who are prepped for surgery, and I think the number I got was about 130 something, 140. Those procedures will take place. So those who have those appointments, not to worry, that will take place. In addition to that, the post-surgery care will continue under the program using the same staff, Cuban healthcare workers, up until that time.
And now to news in sports. West Indians Shimron Hetmeyer and Jason Holder have been named in ESPN's Cricinfo's Team of the Tournament for the just concluded ICC T20 World Cup. Hetmeyer came of age in the tournament, being the main batter for the Windies throughout the tournament in India, scoring 248 runs from 7 innings to an average of 41.33 with a strike rate of 186.46. He had 2 50s. Only Jacob Bethel scored more runs among non-openers. No one hit more sixes against spinners than Hetmeyer's 15. Holder, on the other hand, was steady with the ball for the team while scoring crucial runs. From his 7 matches, he claimed 10 wickets at an economy rate of 8.86. With the bat, he scored 141 runs at an average of 35.25. There are 5 members of the winning Indian team included, as Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Shivam Dubey, Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah have been named. Aidan Markram and Longiniji are the South Africans included, while Will Jacks and Adil Rashid are the others considered part of the tournament's B11th. West Indies made it to the Super 8 stage, where they were beaten by India, who went on to be a 3rd-time champion and the first team to win back-to-back titles. World and Olympic silver medalist Kishane Thompson, world bronze medalist Brian Lavelle, and Olympic bronze medalist Megan Simmons have all been named as part of Jamaica's team to the World Athletics Indoor Championship set for March 20 to 23 in Poland. Thompson and Lavelle join world indoor bronze medalist Akeem Blake in the 60 meters, with Kadrian Goldson named as alternate. Janelle Smith, Brianna Liston, and reserve Tina Clayton are the women named. Simmons and Anika Wilson are set to run the women's 60 meters hurdles, with Demario Prince and Jerome Campbell listed for the men's equivalent. Vishon Vasiana is alternate. Delana Kennedy will contest the 400 with no woman to represent Jamaica in that event. Kennedy has Raheem Hales, Kimar Farquharson, Therese Taylor, and Damar Francis as teammates in the 4x400 relay pool. Navaski Anderson is the lone man in the 800 meters, while Gule Toppin and Kellyanne Beckford are slated to run the women's equivalent. Lamara Distin is Jamaica's lone competitor in the high jump, and the same goes for Nia Robinson in the long jump and Shantae Foreman in the triple jump. Kerry McLeod and Tajay Gale are listed for the men's long jump, and Jordan Turner as reserve, with Jordan Scott, the lone competitor for Jamaica in the men's triple. Mark Elliott is technical leader, with Paul Francis, Michael Frater, and Kerry Lee Ricketts as the other coaches. And that's it for morning news. Join us again at noon for more from our news and sports desk. I'm TK Dawkins. More Sunrise coming at you after this.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget opening presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back to Sunrise. It's game time here in studio. I'm your host, Jason Brown. And this morning, Sunrise Freshers is being taken over by the members of the Aiken Project. So let's meet our players. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing?
Fine.
All right, so welcome to the show. May I have your names and your Freshers fact, please?
Okay, hi guys, my name is Ashanti July. I'm from the University of the West Indies.
That is it.
And my fun fact is that I'm a journalism student.
Lovely. Next.
Hello guys, my name is Daniela White. I am from the University of Technology Jamaica, pursuing a Bachelor's of Law, and my freshest fact is that I am the UTech Law Queen 2026.
I can see that and on my left.
Hello everyone, I am Tashwana Buchanan and I am a student at the University of Technology Jamaica, and my freshest fact, I cook the best curry chicken.
Is that really a fact?
It's a
Or your
fact.
opinion?
It's a fact.
I'll hold it too. Next.
Hi everyone, my name is Omari Akins and I'm the founder of the Akins Project. My fun fact is I'm a dance educator and a pageant coach.
Okay, lovely. So, sir, founder, what is the Akins Project?
Alright, so the Akins Project is a youth advocacy and self-development organization. It seeks to empower young people to become the better versions of themselves.
Lovely.
We currently focuses on outreach, mentorship, and
Lovely.
stuff like
So
that.
what's happening this week for the Akins Project?
Okay, so this week we're having our Founders Week, and we started off first with our church visit, and then today we have our interview, and tomorrow we will be going to the St. Peter and Paul Preparatory School to have our devotion service.
Lovely, lovely. So please test your buzzers for me. All right, so let's see which team will come out as the winner this morning. All right, so are we ready?
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, so Jamaican folklore. Which Jamaican folklore character is known for spinning stories and outsmarting others?
Anansi.
Use your mic, please.
Anansi.
That is correct. According to folklore, what type of animal does the rolling calf resemble?
Cow.
That is correct. What folklore figure is said to appear as a beautiful woman sitting on a river rock?
River Mama.
That is correct. What supernatural creature is believed to roam crossroads at night in Jamaican stories?
Rolling cow.
No, sir, and that's a duppy. All right, so Jamaican geography. Which parish is the largest in Jamaica by land area?
Kingston and St.
Oh, wow. The correct answer is St. Ann. What mountain range runs through the eastern part of Jamaica?
The Blue Mountain.
That is correct. Which parish is the smallest in Jamaica?
Kingston.
That is correct. So now Jamaican rivers and beaches. What is the longest river in Jamaica?
The Rio Cobre.
Rio Minno. Which famous Jamaican river is located in Portland and known for rafting?
Rio Grande.
That is correct. Which beach in Ocho Rios is famous for its white sand and clear waters? You don't know?
No.
Nobody know?
No.
No, so that's Turtle Beach or Ocho Rios Bay Beach. Which river flows through Spanish Town? I feel like you know it, you know? I feel like you know it.
Rio Cobre.
That is correct. What is the name of the famous beach in Negril known for its long stretch of sand?
7 Mile.
That is correct. And Jamaican food. What popular Jamaican soup is traditionally eaten on Saturdays?
Chicken. Red pea soup.
Manish water. What the?
Manish water.
Come on, guys. What Jamaican pastry is filled with spiced meat and often eaten with cocoa bread?
Beef patty.
I'm hungry this morning. What leafy vegetable is commonly cooked with saltfish in
Callaloo.
That is correct. What Jamaican dessert is made using cornmeal, coconut milk, and spices?
Cornmeal pudding.
That is correct.
Okay.
What type of fish is traditionally used in escovitch fish?
Snapper.
As a cooker. That is right.
Yeah.
And what Jamaican drink is made from a flower petal and spices?
Sorry.
That is what's going over here, so. So Jamaican history and culture. Who was Jamaica's first prime minister after independence? You're supposed to know it, yes? As a Jamaican, you should. Let me help you up here, so. Go again.
Is it Norman?
That's incorrect. That's Alexander Bustamante. What's Jamaica's national motto?
Out of many, one people.
Good. So now we have a new segment called Jamaican slang. So please translate the Jamaican slang. The first one, Medea.
I'm here.
That is correct. Masuka.
I'll be there.
Good. I can't believe it.
That's unbelievable.
All right, my belly full.
I'm full.
All right. Take it easy now, man. That's the slang. Take it easy now, man.
Be calm.
Yeah, relax. No watch my face.
It will be okay.
Okay. Wagwan.
Are you okay?
Big up yourself.
Greetings.
Yeah, good job. All right, so sport, our last category this morning. Which Jamaican athlete won gold in the 110-meter hurdles at the 2016 Olympics?
Female, man.
Male. Let me try. That's Omar McLeod. What is the name of Jamaica's premier high school athletics championships?
Chumps.
Or boys and girls championships. Which Jamaican footballer played in the English Premier League for West Ham? Try, man.
Leon Bailey?
That's Michael Antonio. What colors are traditionally worn by Jamaica's national teams?
Black, green, and gold.
Which sport is Courtney Walsh famously associated? All right.
Cricket.
That is correct. And the last one. Which parish is known for producing many top Jamaican boxers? Think about it. Them depend. I can't say that.
St. Anne's?
No, St. James. But clap yourselves. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Well played. Well played. Our winners this morning is which team? Speak to me.
Exec.
15. The exec. 15 to 6. So thank you for being on the show this morning. What's your Instagram handle? Tell us quickly.
The Akins Project.
So that's the Aikens Project on Instagram. Please follow them. And that's all the time we have in Sunrise Freshers. Many thanks to our players and thank you for playing along at home. We throw things back over to Mrs. Kitty and Dennis right after these messages. Good.
Every day starts with care. Care that's always close. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is where you go for everything you need. From your morning routine to life's biggest moments. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is always by your side. Whether it's prescriptions or household essentials, trust the care that's close to home. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
Vitex, the vital solution for all your cleaning needs. Vitex laundry gel, one cap it goes a long way. Up to 100 wash and your clothes them right same way. It deep clean so no dirt, no odor can stay. Vitex, the vital solution for all your cleaning needs. Vitex disinfect and kill germs, no delay. Vitex dishwashing liquid, with dirt and plate it don't play. Vitex bleach takes all the stains away. Vitex, distributed by Boston Trading.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget Opening Presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Hi, I am Candy Pang and
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Datagwan pa. Watagwan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget Opening Presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget Opening Presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Employers, your hard contribution builds a stronger workforce and strengthens the economy. It's not just contribution, it's transformation. The time by heart is...
All right, welcome back, Sunrisers. Yeah. That's actually a very popular Irish song.
Yeah, Irish, yeah.
That's a popular Irish song there being performed in reggae. But guess what? By now, I'm sure most of us have seen this particular video circulating online. Have a look.
Communication. Seriously, that's one of your things. And the other one is to promote the importance of infrastructure delivery. Are you serious? We have nearly 6,000 children homeless. There's people living in box bedrooms, 3 generations. People are crying out. There's towns and villages can't build a house because they have no wastewater, right?
All right, that was Irish politician Thomas Gold, whose accent sparked plenty of conversation among Jamaicans globally, and who swore that it sounds surprisingly close to Jamaican.
It went viral.
It went very viral, and he's been interviewed many times. I've seen several of his interviews, and if I'll admit, I followed him on Instagram. Yeah. But that conversation has reignited curiosity about the historical ties between Jamaica and Ireland, connections that stretch all the way back to the 1600s when the Irish indentured servants arrived in the Caribbean and eventually settled here. To help us explore that history and the modern relationship between the two countries, we have the Honorary Consul of Ireland to Jamaica, Brian Denning. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Miss Kitty. I'm delighted to be here.
Lovely to have you here. I've
come in close proximity with many an Irishman, right?
Yes.
Vis-a-vis Digicel Jamaica, Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall, Mark Kenny. So I've had my fair share, and just listening to the accent, I'm like, yep, I had to hear that accent many a Saturday and many a meeting. So good morning to Mark Kenny, and good morning to all the Irishmen and women here in Jamaica, because as we say, out of many, one people.
Yes,
but let me ask you, Brian, how that politician, how Thomas sound like Jamaican sound?
And that's not a popular Irish accent either. Well, sorry, it's not a, let me not say that. It's not a well-known Irish accent among some persons.
Right, so Ireland is a relatively small island, but it actually has a wide diversity of accents across the island. And Thomas Gould's accent, the politician who went viral, he is from the south and southwest part of Ireland, County Cork. What I have found is Cork and Kerry, the county that's next to Cork, those accents in particular, in the southern part of Ireland, I think are the ones that are more closely associated in terms of the sound. And it's the cadence of the accent, it's the rhythm of the accent. You hear it, I would say, in a lot of the accents in Ireland, right across Ireland, but I think it's more pronounced in the accents of Cork and Kerry. And that's why I think when Thomas Gould spoke in Parliament, and obviously he's speaking very passionately, and the Irish are a passionate people, like the Jamaicans are a passionate people, and you can see there, it came out in full flow, you know.
Is the historical connection that the persons who came to Jamaica from Ireland came from that part of Ireland?
They certainly would have come from that part of Ireland, but would have come particularly, I'd say, from the west and the south of Ireland. So just by way of background, Ireland was colonised and subjected to plantation by the British Crown. In fact, it was the first colony of Britain, hundreds of years before Britain invaded Jamaica and took over from the Spanish. So as part of those, that colonization and plantation process, prisoners, destitute, troublemakers were shipped off. And were shipped out to the Caribbean, forcibly transported into servitude into the Caribbean. Now, Barbados was actually a colony of Britain before Jamaica became a colony, about 30 years beforehand, before Britain invaded Jamaica and took over from the Spanish, which had previously colonized Jamaica. So the Irish initially were transported to Barbados, and it was really the initial wave of migration that came to Jamaica actually came from Barbados more so than directly from Ireland. That included those who were under servitude and under horrible conditions there, being transplanted back over to Jamaica to work on newly established plantations in Jamaica, as well as the English actually picked up persons from Jamaica to go and fight against the Spanish when they were looking to invade Jamaica, and that would have included some of these people. So that early wave of Irish migration into Jamaica would have probably come indirectly rather than directly from Ireland. The colonization continued for a long time afterwards in both Jamaica and in Ireland, and there could have been some continued shipments out of persons, and then also there was the indentured servant. People would say voluntary servitude, but these people were living in very horrible conditions under colonization, and they were trying to escape it, so they would have been sent out as well.
Would you say that then the Irish influence on Jamaican culture via language and other aspects of the culture is something that has been understated by many in the historical account?
To some degree, I think you would probably find if you were to look at it at a genetic level, there's probably markers of early Irish migration in quite a lot of Jamaicans. We don't know what that percentage is. I mean, I've seen references to it being up to 25%, but I don't have the evidence to support that. You'd have to do kind of a proper study on that. But
what would those markers look like? You know what I mean? So if you don't say because we normally say, as Jamaicans, we mix up, right? Again, our motto speaks to it, out of many one people, because we had so many persons brought from from different, the Chinese, the Irish,
Right.
the Indians, came here, and so it's a melting pot.
That's
but
correct.
if I wanted to look for like some Irish features or Irish markers, what am I looking for most likely, and where are some of the areas? Because when the different persons would come to Jamaica, they would, occupy certain territory, certain towns. So which towns in Jamaica or communities are largely impacted or influenced by the Irish?
Right. So in terms of, I wouldn't say that there's, in terms of features, to see, you're not going to see a lot of people go walking around with red hair, in Jamaica, right. Which would have been one of the historical features of a lot of Irish people with light skin and freckles. But at the genetic level, for those persons who have done, say, for example, ancestry, they would be able to pick, and even in my own case when I did it, it said I'm largely Irish, but I also have Scottish blood in me, and that would have been reflected of the plantations of Ulster by Cromwell, who also, you can see the mix-up at the genetic level. In terms of the communities now, we wouldn't. I don't think we'd have the same. We wouldn't have the same. Like for example, you pick up with the German community in Seaford Town and so on, where you do see it in the place names. And Irish Town, for example, is a clear example. Where the Irish would have settled in Irish Town, and Cooperage, close by, they would have been from the Coopers who would have come out from the. They would have made a Cooper is somebody who makes barrels, and they would have made the barrels for Guinness, as you know, Guinness is an Irish product. And then the rum barrels, they would have come out and had the skills in terms of producing rum barrels. Sligoville, I grew up in the town of Sligo in Ireland, and Sligoville is, as you know. That is named after the Marquis of Sligo. That was one of the Anglo-Irish How Peter Brown, who came out here, inherited a plantation, and ultimately helped he was a governor of Jamaica, and ultimately helped to establish the first free village in Jamaica, which was in Sligoville, and they named it after him.
What about last names? Because I know there are certain names.
Yes,
Are there any names that, that's an Irish? Oh, Brooks, I did not know that.
Yes,
because sometimes, we have our last names and we're thinking, it's Jamaican, only to find out it's not so Jamaican.
There's a lot. I mean, I have Brooks, Collins, Murphy, O'Connor.
Brooks is an Irish name. I knew it.
There you go.
They're after me, Lucky Charms.
O'Hara, Walsh, Lynch, O'Hara,
wow.
A lot of times if you see a name and it starts with Mac, MC, or O, Mac in Irish is son of, so it's, and O is from. So it's from that family. Oh, wow. So you'll find a lot of Irish names, and then there's a lot of place names here in Jamaica that are actually Irish. One of the ones that I always admire is if you drive up Mountain View Avenue, there are 4 roads that are off Mountain View Avenue, literally one after the other, and it's Sligo Road, Longford Road. Those Sligo and Longford are 2 counties in Ireland, and then Munster Road and Ulster Road. They're literally 4 in a row, and Ulster and Munster are 2 provinces of Ireland. And you see it all over, as I say, in terms of the place names: Clonmel, St Mary, Knockpatrick.
Oh, Knockpatrick,
yes. And you also have, for example, Vinegar Hill in Westmoreland.
Vinegar Hill, wow.
Dublin Castle, as we know. There's so many of them. Kildare, Derry, Cooper Hill. There's a lot. And then you see, even here in Kingston, Kinsale Avenue, where I'm on. Kinsale is a port town in Ireland. So everywhere you go, you see Irish place names. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just that you don't know them, that they're Irish place names.
Yeah. So, like, for example, I remember my first time to London, when you see the names, Vauxhall, and here you are thinking, oh my God, it's just like Trafalgar. And I'm like, Ruthven and Jesus. Watch over there. Things are we. And them. Oxford. And I'm like, wow, Piccadilly. Sexy and Piccadilly. I'm like, Vauxhall High School and Vauxhall. The whole time. And so, and that's why I love to travel so much.
Look at the colours of the flag.
Yes.
Both political parties are represented.
and white for peace.
Yes, that's correct.
Peace right in the middle.
Right. So this is the Irish tricolour. This is the national flag of Ireland.
Yes.
And as you say, it's a tricolour. It's made up of green, white and orange, and the green represents the peoples of the nationalist or traditionally the Catholic tradition, the indigenous Irish, and then the orange represents those who are of the unionist tradition, typically of the Protestant tradition. They would have been typically the descendants of the British settlers who had colonized Ireland. And the white in the middle represents the dove of peace, for peace and harmony between and hope for union between the two sides. And when I first came to Jamaica, and when I heard that the two kind of opposing political sides are green and orange, I said, "Wow,
how coincidental!" Yes.
But I think there are lots of undeniable links between the Irish and the Jamaican people. We have a very deep heritage, love of culture, love of music, love of sports. We're both storytellers, and very, very passionate. And also, I think very importantly, we as two nations, we have a strong sense of justice and in terms of speaking out against injustice. And that comes out in many ways in Ireland, and also comes out in Jamaica, and particularly even through reggae music. I mean, Peter Tosh, equal rights and justice.
Yes.
The reason why Bob Marley's music is so powerful and long-lasting and resonating is not just the beat; it's the words, it's the message, the message of rise up, stand up for your rights.
Yes, and the Irish people have been through a lot as well. The disenfranchised, those who did not have a voice. So I can also see how the Irish would appreciate
very much so. It drives that even in today. You'll resonate, and even if you look closely on Thomas Gould's viral videos, you'll see that he actually is wearing the Palestinian flag, because the Irish identify very closely with the Palestinian people as a displaced people and what they have gone through and what they are going through as well.
I'm going to ask you to hold that point. We're going to run to a break. We're going to talk some more about the Jamaica-Ireland relationship. We'll be right back.
Love it.
Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise a child here.
Hey, what I want? Hi, I am Candy Pang.
What a guan?
What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, pa. What a guan?
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is 7:45. If you're a woman in business, it's time to go bigger.
Your ambition is calling, and Horizon for Women in Business is answering.
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services designed for women entrepreneurs to unlock the capital you need to grow and take your business beyond limits. With quick approval, flexible repayment, and low interest rates, your success is on the horizon.
Call us now. The funds are waiting.
Your success is on the horizon.
It's the last thing on their mind until it becomes the only thing on their mind. Critical illness has many faces. 1 in 4 people will be affected. Protect what matters with critical illness insurance from Sagicor Life. Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
It's Christmas in March, only at Courts. Get up to 50% off select furniture, appliances, and electronics. Happiness is when you buy now and pay later with Courts Ready Finance. Plus 20% off 18 to 48 months credit. It's Christmas in March, happening now only at Courts. Bringing value home. Promotion ends March 31, 2026. Conditions apply.
Get informed, get involved. Tune in to the National Budget Opening Presentation on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, outlines the central government budget for fiscal year 2026-27. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. Watch live on CVM at 3 p.m.
Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely around the fields of life.
Absolutely love the vibe. Good morning to you. Welcome back to Sunrise. If you're just joining us, a pleasant morning to you. Thank you so much for choosing us as you continue to choose you. Now, we want to say also a special morning to all our YouTubers watching. We love you guys and we appreciate your support. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. And do feel free to participate in the conversation. Now, before the break, we were exploring the rich connection between Ireland and Jamaica. Still with us to explore those connections is Honorary Consul of Ireland to Jamaica, Brian Denning. And we've been learning so much this morning, Brian.
We learned so many name is Irish.
Who knew? And I just said it with something not knowing. Yeah. But here it is. We learn every day. Brian, I know, for example, that the connection between Ireland and Jamaica runs deep. And I also know that you do a lot in terms of academia and support through scholarships. Because as we're talking to Najee earlier about traveling and studying overseas, a lot of Jamaicans want to do that. And I know that probably the Irish, they want to come here as well. Could you talk to us about different scholarship scholarships that are available and possibilities and opportunities that Jamaicans can take advantage of?
Sure. So yes, and as in my capacity as the Irish consul here, I interact a lot with Jamaicans who are looking to either visit, work, study in Ireland. And I must say that when they come back, when they reach out to me afterwards, they say, boy, when they go over there and if they close their eyes, aside from that the weather is a lot colder, they say if they close their eyes and they listen to the accents, they could swear sometimes that they were in Jamaica. Yes. And they're very, very positive. They say that they have received a very, very warm welcome from the Irish people, which is not surprising. Just in the same way as when I know when the Irish come here to Jamaica, they receive an extremely warm welcome. Yes. And they feel very familiar with the place as well. There's a familiarity about it, which I can touch on. But just to your point then about in terms of support. So one of the programs that Ireland undertakes is what's called a Fellows Program. And it was actually instituted over 50 years ago. And the Fellows Program offers select students, you have to make an application where you can apply to do a master's level program in there's a range of different disciplines that can be undertaken. And that would be done at a higher level education institution in Ireland. And pretty much all the costs are covered for that, the living costs, the tuition fees, and so on, and flights, accommodation, all of that. And the whole idea of that program is to actually nurture future young leaders. It's a global program, but the idea being that they will then come back to their home country and play an important role in developing their nation, and also maintaining that connection and that love that they would have undoubtedly have developed with the Irish people during their stay in Ireland. And it just helps to foster that greater relationship. So there is that. There are also at the individual institution levels, and all of that is available, all that information is available online in terms of what kind of support programs they have for persons, including specifically in the Caribbean.
Is that different from the Irish Aid program? What's that?
Yeah, no, the Irish Aid program is different. The Irish Aid, one of the programs that the Irish Aid has, which is kind of the state aid program, is what they call an in-country micro-project scheme. And we've done a number of projects here in Jamaica over the last while. for example, mustard seed communities. You know that mustard seed is led by Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon, an incredible man, and he has been really such a friend of the Irish community over many years here in Jamaica. He actually studied in Ireland, by the way, so he has a love and connection with Ireland as well. Eve for Life is another group that we've supported. They assist women and girls who have suffered gender-based violence. Capri, Jamaica AIDS Support for Life. And we also partnered with the Ministry of Education as well as the Ministry of Health to establish an adolescent and children's wellness centre in Montego Bay.
We just looked at
this. Oh, okay, great. Yes. So that was established. It was opened in January of last year. So it's really, it's a really fabulous initiative. The EU also participated in that, as well as some private sector donors as well. So we were very proud to kind of step up and help to be part to make that happen, you know.
Yeah, I noticed you've brought two books, quite interesting looking. I suppose that speaks to the arts and other forms of creative expression. What are we looking at?
Yeah, this is actually a rare book, and I was happy to be able to find it in an antique bookshop. It's called Whence the Black Irish of Jamaica. Where the old word whence is from where did they come from?
Right,
And it was written in 1932 by a Jesuit priest, John Joseph Williams, and it's quite good because he goes into the archives and the British Museum and speaks a lot to where that is from. That book is a book written by a fabulous lady who is a stalwart of the Irish community, Dr. Veronica Salter, a Leprechaun, A Tale of Two Islands, and it features an Irish character and a Jamaican, a young boy Jamaican, and obviously go on adventures together, etc. A friend of mine, Adrian Lopez, is publishing a series of books. Julie Jamrock was a young Jamaican girl with an Irish mother, and he even consults me on some of the accents or the dialogue. Does that really sound Irish? You know.
Yes.
So in a number of different ways, the Irish it's a melting pot. Like as you mentioned briefly there. Who would have thought an Irishman like Mark Kenny would have been doing Kings and Queens of Dancehall and so on, even my friends refer to me as DJ Irish. They asked me to play. They say I have a good knowledge of reggae music and particularly dancehall from the 90s.
Oh wow!
And so man, hardcore,
like 90s dancehall.
Man, DJ Merciless, and all of that. We're ready.
Nice.
Really nice.
But one of our heroes, our first national hero,
right?
Marcus Mosiah Garvey. There's also a connection, you tell me, between him and the Irish. Talk to us about that.
Yes. So in terms of that, so the time frame of when Marcus Garvey was really advocating economic empowerment and to drive black people forward in terms of claiming what was rightfully theirs, and in terms of the discrimination, that was all happening at the time when the Irish were also fighting for self-determination against the British Empire.
Yeah.
And he was, Marcus Garvey actually was very supportive of the Irish struggle for self-determination, and he did interact with the Irish leaders who were leading that fight. One of the things that you will see, for example, Marcus Garvey established the United Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, and this in the United States and here. And each of his chapters, the property was Liberty Hall. That was the place where the UNIA members met. And Liberty Hall in the Kingston chapter is I believe on King Street.
Yes.
But Liberty Hall was called after Liberty Hall in Dublin. Liberty Hall was the centre of the Irish Rebellion in the Easter Rising in 1916. And that was, so he identified that as a symbol in terms of rise up and rebellion against oppression.
Yes.
And so he took on that name. And he was also very inspired by some of the various happenings at that time. He even also wrote to King George in 1921, and he said, other than with the exception of the freedom of Africa, nothing would please him more than Irish people getting their freedom and self-determination. So he was very aware of the Irish struggle, and the Irish leaders also interacted with him and also spoke, in very much in favour of what he was pursuing.
Do we need a visa to go to Ireland?
Pardon me?
Do we need a visa to go to Ireland? Because I want to go now.
And
I'm sure the people watching, they want to go now, Brian.
So historically we didn't require visas, but for quite a few years, unfortunately, because we have a common travel area with the United Kingdom, which makes it easier for citizens to travel between the two countries. As a result, when Britain introduced visa requirements for Jamaica, we also kind of had to mirror that policy. So we introduced it. So there is unfortunately a visa requirement. However, what I'm happy to say is that we do not charge Jamaicans. Jamaica is one of the few countries in the world that we give visas to for free.
So where we come to the consulate, we go.
Right.
Where do we go?
So what happens is that it's a combination of an online process. You start online, you submit your application form online. We have a website, irishconsulateja.org. And if you go to that and go to the visa section, there's a specific guidance for Jamaican residents that I've put together. It literally tells you each step. You start online.
On the screen, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
It starts online. Your application starts online, and then you complete it by sending your documents and so on to the Irish Embassy in Ottawa. That's the embassy that I report to.
Yeah.
And they do the visa processing up there. It takes about 8 weeks. Can take up to 8 weeks. And you can apply within 3 months of your intended date of travel. Just make sure, guys, that you get all your documents in. If it asks you for, 3 things, send in the 3 things, and things will go smoothly. It's usually a documentary issue that delays.
One of our viewers on YouTube is asking, where is the embassy or the consulate?
So the consulate, it's based in our offices. I'm part-time because I was an honorary consul. So my full-time day job is I'm a partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers in Jamaica, and I had the taxation practice there, and my partners have kindly allowed me to kind of work on the side of my desk as well in terms of the consulate there, so they've been very kind. So the consulate is there, so people do come in to me from time to time. I do provide guidance in terms of the process, but the application and submission of documents is actually, you send them off by courier after you've completed the online process.
This has been a very fulfilling conversation.
Very much so.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thoroughly. I'm just like, can we extend? Oh my goodness. But a big day is coming up, Brian. St. Patrick's Day, St. Paddy's Day.
Yes.
What do you have lined up for this year's celebration? And how can Jamaicans watching, or people watching, be a part of it this year?
So we have a small Irish community here, and so it isn't, St. Patrick's Day isn't celebrated in the same way as you'd have like the New York Macy's parade and these kind of things. And next week, actually, the Irish ambassador to Jamaica will be in town. He's also the Irish ambassador to Canada, and Jamaica is hosting a diplomatic gathering next week. So he'll be in town, and he will also be hosting an event on Friday next Friday for the Irish community. And so that will, the details of that are still being worked out in terms of location, etc. But I know we'll get to see a number of members of